Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to The Last Bachelor, and this is episode 25. Most of the time, there's nothing wrong with men explaining things. If someone, regardless of gender, doesn't know or understand something, and a man does, then by all means, he should explain it. Men absolutely, without offense, explain things to women and to other men. And women can explain things to men and to other women. And everyone can explain anything to anyone else. Information is awesome. Explanations are great. But here's what makes mansplaining different. When a man mansplains something to a woman, he interrupts or speaks over her to explain something that she already knows, or in fact, something in which she may be an expert in, on the assumption that he may know more than she does. To be honest, women do admire a man that can teach them something new and who can clarify something unknown to them, but not like this. So be easy. In many cases, the explanation has to do specifically with things that are unique to women, like their bodies, their experiences, their lives. When we interrupt or venture to correct a woman who is speaking of her own experience or expertise, we are implying that she is ignorant, that she is incapable of having dependable knowledge. Basically, what we are saying is, shh, I know best. By definition, mansplaining is the explanation of something by a man, typically to a woman, in a manner regarded as condescending or patronizing. In the medical field, female doctors are 2 times more likely to be interrupted by patients. This is according to Dr. Candace West in an article published in 1984. In schools, men are proven 50% more likely to comment in class than women, and 144% more likely to comment more than twice, says a study on women's experiences at Harvard Law School in 2004. A 2012 study conducted by Gender Equality and Deliberative Participation showed women in the workplace spoke less than 75% as much as men, basically being conditioned not to speak up, affecting their everyday lives. And media is no better. Men also write 80% of traditional opinion pieces and 67% of them online, according to a op-ed Project Byline report in 2012. Twitter has fewer men accounts than women, but men are also retweeted more than twice as often than women. It's a problem, so let's talk about it. If you're unsure what mansplaining is or what it looks like, then stick around. Here are a few examples of the type of mansplaining women face daily that needs to be canceled. Catcalling. Okay, not all catcalls involve mansplaining, but sometimes it does. Like when men tell women smile, or something like, hey, you should smile more often. A man telling a woman how she should appear or how she should act in public is out of line. When men suggest they know what's best for women, as if women came outside for approval, but the minute she claps back in response to the ignorant catcalling, she gets called out for being mean or overly sensitive. Men assume women should be flattered and so on. It's not realistic. Next, telling a woman that she will or won't like something. One of my homegirls actually had an experience with this type of situation. She went out with friends, and this one guy says to her, hey, you should try this cognac. You'll love it. My homegirl replies, nah, I really don't like cognac. But the guy insists, like, trust me, you'll like it. Which she does. She takes a sips and tells him, nope, don't like it. And he's already like, you're not even giving it a chance. Be fair. Try it again. Again, she has to tell this complete stranger that it's not her taste of alcohol, only to have him tell her that she's only saying that to make a point, and that's not how she genuinely feels. Like, seriously, my dude? They doing that out here? Y'all gotta cool it down, fellas. Next, when a guy says he knows more about women than actual women. This is the one, y'all. Like, the audacity, am I right? In 2014, a clip from a CNN show hosted by Frederica Whitfield and guest host Amanda Seales addressed the issue of street harassment, in which Stephen Santagati had this to say. I'm more of an expert than you, and I'll tell you why. I'm a guy, and I know how we think, more than you guys will ever know. The bottom line is this. Ladies, you would not care if all these guys were hot. They would be bolstering your self-esteem, bolstering your ego. There is nothing more that a woman likes to hear than how pretty she is. Well, Stephen, as a man myself, I'm here to tell you that you're dead wrong. I'm on Amanda's side on this one. No woman should have to adapt to this type of behavior from men. It's not a man's place to invalidate or validate any woman's lived experiences or tell her how to react to them. We are not women. Hearing men explain to women how to act womanly sounds crazy to me. By now, everyone has seen that one viral video of a woman who walked around New York City and was getting catcalled practically every step she took. That was wild. If you're listening to this podcast and you're one of those catcalling men, cut it out. Most, if not all women, don't like that shit. Next, when a guy explains the female body to a woman. A guy should never explain a woman's own anatomy to her. I'm pretty sure at some age, they all know the difference between their urethra and vagina. And they know exactly what hole the pee is coming out of. Trust me, I heard some whoppers in my day. Next, having her field of expertise explained to her. This is so spot on. I learned this one from my own mother in the kitchen. Y'all know what time it is. Don't ever tell mama what to do with the food in the kitchen. But seriously, expert women tend to come across men that feel like explaining the fundamentals of their own job to them. Sadly, this happens in all fields. No one should feel the need to explain your job to you. And finally, situations in which women seem like the outsider. Here's another scenario of what that may look like. A few months ago, a female friend of mine took her car for a routine service. Nothing major, but after a few hours, the mechanic tells her her car needed urgent work that will cost her $400. When she told him she'll get a second opinion, the mechanic went on about how you can trust me. You know, I've been doing this for 20 years, blah, 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 blah. Of course, she folded and let him work. A few weeks later, she tells me her brother went to the same mechanic and got offered the same $400 work service. He simply told the mechanic, no, I'm good. And the mechanic never replied a word. There are certain fields that are traditionally dominated by men. And there are some women out here who know plenty about those fields. And some don't. Let's just be real about that. Women, whatever your level of expertise may be, you are allowed to voice your questions and concerns without being treated like an ignorant child. It's most definitely up to us men to tell other men what is and what is not acceptable. Mansplaining is unacceptable. My closing quote comes from Rebecca Solnit. Every woman knows what I'm talking about. It's the presumption that makes it hard at times for any woman in any field, that keeps women from speaking up and being heard when they dare, that crushes young women into silence by indicating the way harassment on the street does, that this is not their world. It trains us in self-doubt and self-limitation, just as it exercises men's unsupported overconfidence. You've been listening to The Last Bachelor. Till the next episode.